What kind of cameras do we have access to use at Rogers New Technology High School? So currently in our classroom, we have many different models of cameras to learn from and use. We do share equipment, and there is different equipment that is used for different classes. So for example, for Photography 1, we are using the Nikon D3200s, 3300s, and 3400 cameras. In advanced photography, we're using the D5600 cameras. In the middle is for intermediate photography, the D3500s and 5500s, and the D7200s are for photography lab. As the year goes on, you'll have access to try different models at different times. You are more than welcome to learn different kinds of cameras. In the journalism and graphic design classroom, there are Canon cameras. I also use a Canon camera at home. So if you have a Canon camera at home, I have no problem teaching you the differences between Nikon and Canon. But the good news is, learn a setting. It's very similar on both brands of cameras. And all of them have the same parts, they're just in different places. And the settings and the software are different to use. So the reason I'm taking the time to just give you a quick tour of this presentation is you have access to this in your Echo classroom. And what I've done here is everything that's yellow is a link to learn more about that particular camera. I'm just going to click through these really very quickly so you can see the differences. So you know how they come out with a new iPhone every year and it looks very similar to the old iPhone, just the software is different? Same situation with Nikon. Same situation when they come out with cars. They usually just add one new feature or they push out a really big software change. So all of these cameras that have a D3000 number are very, very similar. There's just one or two buttons that are different, and the main differences are what the software looked like, and they were bought at different years. So all of these cameras I'm about ready to show you are around the $500 mark with a standard 55mm lens. So this is the camera we'll be using for Photography 1, as well as this. So I'm going to flip back and forth real quick so you can just see. If you look really close, there's very little difference at all. There really is like one or two buttons and the software just looks different. The D3400s just got a software update and one button was moved. D3500s is where things changed a little bit. And this is why I'm starting to use these with Photography 2 or intermediate photography. So if you go out and try to buy a brand new Nikon camera now, a D3500 is the entry-level camera you'll find on the shelves. And the reason I say things changed is this new model of camera has the software where you can leverage Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to your cell phone, and you can use the cell phone app as a wireless remote as well as to transfer your pictures. So where we're getting fancy is the D5500 and the D5600. These cameras are about $1,000, $800 to $1,000 a piece, based on what kind of accessories that came with them and what kind of lens is on them. So these are the cameras we use for advanced photography and photography lab. There may be times later in the year where you can use them as well. They have flip out LCD screens on the back. They're touch screen. They have a little better video access and quality. They have more scenes, settings, and effects, and more buttons. On the entry-level cameras that we just looked at, they have over 30 buttons on them to learn what they do and where they're at. These upper level cameras, as they started upgrading and streamlining them, they don't quite have 30 buttons. They have a few less buttons. And what they've done is actually put all those other functions in the software, and you now have access to it in the menu and within the touchscreen. So the D5600 is what you use if you're in advanced photography. So the D7200s, these are the most expensive cameras we have in our classroom right now. They're over $1,000, and they're meant for people who really get into professional photography. And why I say that is that they have a lot more customization settings and options. I'm not saying the other cameras don't. These just have, as we move up on the numbers, there's more and more settings to learn. So we do have 2 of these in the classroom, and they're kind of reserved for photography lab students or special projects. We have a ton of lenses, adapters, and equipment you'll get to use. It's actually very exciting. We have lens filters, fisheye lenses, tripods and monopods, reflectors and diffusers. We have a whole studio full of equipment that you haven't even seen yet. We do have a few telephoto lenses as well, and specialty lenses that go down to a really small aperture number. What that means is it really blurs out the background and it really looks great for portraits. I'm continuing to try to get us some additional specialty lenses, but at this time we do have a wide variety of adapters and lenses and equipments that you can learn from. So that's the quick overview of the types of cameras we have in the room. I hope you're excited to learn about what all those buttons and settings do. Thanks for watching.